You know, I love talking to you all because I love being a teacher. I never thought that I would be a teacher one day. I always thought it would be so boring to be a teacher. But being able to touch the lives of so many students is wonderful. I love it. What I mean is that as a student, there were times when I couldn't speak up in class. I couldn't ask the problems that I was facing, but I feel very, very good when I'm able to get my students to ask questions. I want to tell you a little story. There were once two little boys. And the two boys were playing. They were very small. They must have been about 5 years of age and maybe 10 years of age. So there's a great difference between a 5-year-old and a 10-year-old. Who is stronger, according to you? You will obviously say that the 10-year-old will be stronger. That is what you believe. That is what the world has made you believe. That is what you have seen. And this is something which is being done because somebody else is telling you. But let me tell you what happened in this story. Both the boys went, they were playing and they kind of wandered away, into the fields. And then, as children are, they saw a well. And then they tried to, draw water out of the well. You know what happened? The bigger boy, the elder one, he fell into the well. Luckily, there wasn't too much water in the well. So what do you think the little boy did? Do you think he ran to call people from the village? That's what you would think. But in such a situation, what would you do? Would you rather save the boy who's fallen into the well, or would you go and try to get help, knowing fully well that by the time you return, that child might drown? What will you do? So let me tell you what that little boy did. Using all his mind, the bucket with which they were drawing the water, he used that bucket and he threw it down to the elder boy. And he told him, hold tight to it and I'm going to pull you up. And that's what he did. He pulled. He put all his energy, every bit of his energy into it. And he managed to get that boy out. Yes, he did. The boy who was 10 years old was not very light. Let me assure you of that. He wasn't very weak. He was a strong boy. But this time it was the little boy who was able to pull him out. Why do you think he was able to do it? Because there was nobody to question him. Nobody at all to question him. And he knew that everything depended on him. He became more responsible because his action would give the result that he wanted. And at that point of time, his action, or rather what action was demanded of him, was to save his friend, which he did. You never know how much of potential you have. Potential is what is hidden, what is latent in you, what is inside of you. You don't know how much of energy you have, how much of strength you have. It is only when you're put into difficult situations that you're able to figure out how much you can do. Let me go back to the story. These two boys, when they went back to the village and they told the villagers what had happened, nobody believed them. There was only one person who believed them, and he was an old man, very wise man. He had seen the world and he believed them. And everybody else, they were making fun of the two boys. And when they asked this old man, he said, no, they are honest boys and they are telling us the truth. So all the villagers, they were a little surprised, and then they asked him that how can you say that, what the boys are saying is true, because the younger one is too weak and the older one is quite a heavy child. How could he have pulled him out? You know what the old man said? The old man told the villagers at that point of time that this is what the problem is. One, they have to listen to you. They have learned everything the way you have made them learn. They are not independent enough to be responsible for their own action. So you need to be responsible for your own action. And when you have that freedom, and when you know that there is nobody sitting on your head, nobody is telling you this is the way to do it, this is right, this is wrong, nobody is judgmental about you, you are able to do a lot of things. You might have noticed there are teachers, from whom you can ask your questions, but then there are teachers you are scared of asking questions of, because they'll say, you don't know this much also. Well, let me assure you, they must have been in the same situation at one point of time in their school life. Also, it is quite possible that, these teachers do not know what answers to give you or how to explain, and that is why they are finding an excuse in saying that, you can't understand this much. How many times will I explain? No. You have to have confidence in yourself. And when there is a teacher who's not being able to explain to you, or you are hesitant to ask, first, you should not be hesitant of asking questions. And secondly, if the teacher is not allowing you that time to ask questions, what should you do? You should just go ahead and try to understand on your own, in your own manner. Try it out. For example, if it's a maths problem, you might think that the teacher is not there to explain to you and you will not be able to understand it. But at such times, the best thing to do is try out the sum yourself. Try it out a number of times. Try it out as many times as possible. Look at the examples given in the chapter. Maybe you'll be able to do it. And if you're still not able to do it, don't stop yourself. Go and ask your teacher. Another thing that I want you to remember is that it is within you. Just forget these voices which are telling you this is right and that is not right. Do what you think you can do. Do what you think is right. Remember that you have the energy. Remember that you have the potential to do it. And you will be able to do it. Share this video as widely as possible. It might help somebody who is going through this problem of not being able to do problems in maths or some other subject. I'm sure it's going to help all of them. So I'll see you soon in my next video.